the governorship candidate, elections as well as the State House of Assembly elections are just 5 days away. And as saharaTv seeks to shed the spotlight on alternative candidates who are outside the two main political mainstream parties, we strive now to see what these alternatives actually stands for, their blueprint for moving the country in a different direction. With us in the studio today, we have Prince Abdulmajeed, Ilufoye, Ajibola. It's a pleasure having you on saharaTv.
Thank you for having me today.
Great. One quick question. From your constituency, what are the major issues that have eroded the common good of Nigerians? And what do your parties want to do about those issues?
Actually, the main issue with my constituency is the issue of youth migration and no skilled labor, no companies. And when you don't have companies, you don't have job. When you don't have job, you don't have income. And when you don't have income, you have people becoming non-entities on the streets, and they become thugs, being used by all these major politicians, or let us say old politicians, and do it the old way. Now, what we as AAC candidate in Odotin, what I'm planning to do is bring in bills that will ameliorate the issues on ground. It has to do with the issue of job, creating industries, factories, how I can mobilize people maybe from the diaspora, people who are from the constituency from the diaspora, to come and invest in Odotin, mainly starting from the initial angle down to Ijabe, where I came from. So we're trying all our best to bring in all the best hands, from diaspora, even people that don't live in Nigeria, to come and invest at home. So our campaign is majorly on how we get jobs for the youth and how we get them skilled. Apart from just giving them jobs, we still need people who will not be working there that has to be skilled personnel. So we'll train them, majorly on ICT. The place is, let me say, a bit local to what we see in the outside world or other places in Nigeria. So we need to train them on ICT, and to be sure, it will be a very good move if you are elected.
Osun State in recent time has actually been bedeviled with a lot of problems, myriads of problems, rising from non-payment of salaries to state workers, and the reduction in the state's own
allocation.
Exactly, federal allocations. How will you be able to achieve this without the cost to those major issues?
Now, when we talk about the state allocations being reduced, the state allocation is being reduced due to the loan debt being held by the state, I think the past government, the immediate past government. So that's why the allocation has been reduced. So most people don't know that, so they think the federal government are not giving them what they wanted. But according to agreement, the loans, so they have to pay it back. So they are reducing the allocation, or they are withdrawing part of the loans from the allocation. So that's why the allocation is down. Now, when we talk about being in poverty, I would say one thing. Osun State is the poverty capital of southwest of Nigeria. Yeah, because no payment, and you don't have payment, you have people just languishing around, and here it gives gap to corruption, breeds so many bad things in the society. So how we tend to do this is through public-private partnership. We bring in people from outside. It might be from Nigeria, it might be from even the state itself that has the money to invest. So we tell them we invest in them. And most of the people who we invest in, we make them sign bonds. After training you, after sending you to school to study social things that will benefit the constituency, you'll have to work for us for like 5 years or 10 years, I don't know. Depends on what he or she is studying or what we train he or she for. So if you are not working for us, you are going to repay this thing just like a loan. We will do it like a student loan, though we won't say it that way, just to train them from the government perspective. But since I will be doing it if elected, it's not from the government, so it will be in a form of a loan, because those people who are investing in them, we want to see the output, the cost effective, how maximize the effect will be in the constituency. So if we train you and you are not working for us later on after the training, you have to pay back the loan in order we can train others with what we train you with. So if people are investing, definitely we'll move forward. And in order to bring them to invest, we have to show them the way that we can do it. That's why we are out here to show them that everything on ground, we can ameliorate it. Not because we are the better, but because we are the best in what we do.
Now, based on the last presidential elections and the national elections, your party was said not to have been able to have a strong showing. And one question that bothers a lot of people is, how will you be able to do it differently in this forthcoming governorship and state houses of assembly elections, despite the poor showing of your party, the African Action Congress, of the presidential election?
Actually, I won't call it poor showing. I will call it having the organic vote on ground. Because the reality is, those big parties with big numbers, with big votes, they didn't get it through sincere means. Most of them got those votes through vote buying. Some went as high as buying it 2,000, 3,000 naira just because they want people to vote for them. And due to poverty ratio, so even if you are giving them 200 naira to vote for you, they would vote. They need something to eat. So we didn't do bad. We got what was right, because everybody, each and everyone that voted for African National Congress, that voted for more electoral, they know they are voting on their self-will. They are voting because they know this person can do it. They are not voting because the 500 naira we're going to give them, or because of the 2,000 that we're going to give them. And again, one thing I attribute to that is that we will mainly focus on the student, the youth, larger part of we form the larger part of the society. But we've now realized that these youths, most of them will go back to where they will cast their votes, which is their home. Especially students, they will leave the vicinity of their campuses, and most of them registered in that vicinity. So during elections, they all go back home, and when they go back home, they have no way to pay, because the PVCs they hold, they can only use it in their vicinity. They can't use somewhere else. So the best thing to do is to walk directly to the grassroots, to the Iyalatas, to the Elelubos, to the Alasaros, Eleros in the street, to campaign to them, to mobilize them, to get them to see what we see, to key into our vision, our ideologies, and how we intend to move the constituency, the state, and Nigeria forward at large. So that's what we've been employing.
So your intention is to mobilize the grassroots itself, as against the political machines of the predominantly mainstream political parties.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned an issue the other time, which is one of the biggest issues as far as this elections is concerned, and that has to do with vote buying.
Yes.
What are you going to do? What will your party do to militate? Because you're not going to buy votes, I'm sure of that.
We're not going to do that.
What are you going to do differently that will counteract the big money politicians of the mainstream political parties who are willing to spend as high as 10,000, 20,000 now to get people to vote?
No.
And what's the perception of vote buying in your constituency?
Now, the last time I said Osun State is the poverty capital of the Southwest. Now, I don't live in Osun State before. When I got into politics, I had to go to my constituency, grassroots, mobilize people, and stay there, and now live in there. So I noticed people even give vote buying different names in that part of the country, like Diboko Sebe, Diboko Jesemo, and so on. And now, for 2019 elections, they are all chanting Diboko Kole. Diboko Kole simply means vote to build houses. Which means if the big parties, as they do, are giving them 5,000, 2,000 naira before, this time around they are going to collect more just to make them okay till the next 4 years, or just to make something meaningful, for them to have something meaningful to do with the money. Now, we've penetrated into those places. We told them, because you are not getting dividend of democracy, of leadership, of the government, that's why you guys are waiting for people to give you money to do this, to do that. You don't have to collect money to vote for someone. When there's a credible candidate, a credible alternative, you can literally vote for that person. And when they're just like, okay, what if they should bring us the money? because most of the time these big parties go to the houses and give them money there. And I'm just like, okay, this is what we'll do. If you know you cannot do without the money they are bringing, you can collect it and vote for the right candidate. Vote for your conscience, do the right thing, and just like, okay, that's okay by us, because you are not giving us anything right now. So you are elected before we will know what you do to us. Maybe you keep your promises or not, but we just told them we'll keep our promises. To me, you've not tested us, and here testing us will require a lot of patience, because we are just coming in newly and we'll set things on track immediately we get into the office. So they need to change the ways they think, which is the way, well, you give me money before I can vote for you, and because they knew they are getting nothing from the leadership, the past leadership, the present, or even some of them, when growing up, they've never seen anything done in the right way in terms of government. So they don't have the belief where someone is coming, maybe that angel from heaven is coming to give them something better to ameliorate their situation apart from what they got before. So all they want to do is collect money, tell them to give them money before voting. But now we gave them hope. We let them see something from another perspective, which means, and I hope they will do the right thing this time around, because we've encouraged them, we show them the right thing. Like, let's just say, they will say the path that leads to light. We show them the path that leads to light. It's now on them to choose between the devil, the lesser known one, and the angel coming in.
That's really interesting. Now, could you help our viewers differentiate between what your party stands for as against what the other two behemoth political parties, the APC and the PDP, stand for?
Now, my party stands for equality. My party stands for accountability. My party stands for a lot of things that is different from the mainstream political parties we have currently. And as the third largest political party in Nigeria and rising fast, I would say we stood for everything that will make the life of Nigerians meaningful, that will make it accurate, that will make it better from where they are, that will not take them as rugs, or when they travel around the world, where you say Nigeria being stood up aside, they will search him extra apart from normal searching they will do to people. So we are here to give Nigeria a brand, a new brand that will make everything perfect, that will make things that have been undoable before, that will make it very, very impactful, meaningful to people.
Good. So what case are you making for your party come March 9 for the electorates of voters in Osun to vote your party?
Now,
what's the message you want to pass across?
What I would like to tell them is this. They've sampled PDP, they've sampled APC, they've known they just promise them and fail them. AAC is there with hope. AAC is there to give them the needful leadership, the right leadership. So I enjoin them all to go out there to vote for the better candidates. And the better candidate is coming from AAC, which are the candidates of AAC party. And one thing I wanted to tell them again is, out of all the candidates in my constituency, I am the only candidate with visible steps. If I'm being elected in office today, I already showcased projects I will do for 4 years, the bills that I will promote, and so on and so forth. So no candidate has done that in Odoti. In fact, in Nigeria as a whole, no candidate will tell you these are the bills you should expect me to forward those so bills to the house and so on, or to support so bills. But we've done that. I've done that, and I have the bills outlined. I've shown everybody. We've shared it, pamphlet and so on. But you can still check it out. They can still check it at ilufoye.org.ng. That's my dedicated campaign website for an African National Congress in Odoti constituency, or Osun State as a whole. So I would enjoy them to go out and vote for AAC party. Even if you are not from Odoti and you're watching this, vote for AAC candidate anywhere you are, because we are here to give you the best.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ajibola.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you for given us this insightful analysis.